All right, so the time right now is 8:59 p.m. and it's Thursday, February 12th, 2026. I think today might be a good day finally. Out the new year. I think this is going to be I don't even remember when my last good day was, but it's been almost close to a month of when I've actually had like a good day. It's been a while. But I did this one order on Scroober, right? It was let me see, hold on, go here. No, that's just the base fare, the trash base fare that they pay, right? So it's Virginia ramen or whatever, and it was $12. It was only going 4 miles, as you guys could see. And then, and they did this weird thing where it's like they only pay on certain days, and then those certain days that they want to pay, sometimes you can't even take that money because you have something else to do. Like how there was another order that they were trying to pair with this, like it was Chipotle or whatever, and they was paying it was like $13 going 0.5, half a mile, literally 0.5 of a mile or whatever. I couldn't take it because this order was taking me to the area that I need to go to do my Amazon block. I had an Amazon block or whatever that I accepted a while ago, and I can't. And then Amazon, they have strict freaking policies. I work as a flex driver, and Amazon, all over has strict policies and shit. So you can't really late cancel stuff as a contractor because they tack that against your rating and stuff like that. And after so many times, they can deactivate you and stuff like that. So I was like, I'm trying to save myself from doing so many cancellations, like late cancellations of blocks or whatever. You can still cancel, but you can't cancel late. And if I would have taken that other Uber Eats order that I was paying like $13 for like the half a mile, I would have to cancel late, and then boom, there's another tack against my my ratings on Amazon. I was like, you know what, never mind, I'll do my Amazon or whatever, and then come back to this or whatever. But what I noticed is that Uber and DoorDash will pay on the days that you don't even expect it, like today, like I said. So I'm gonna show you, but like I said, and then sometimes you can't do it because you'll have some other type of work already lined up because you're not expecting these trash apps to pay, right? And you're like, what the fuck, right? You're like, wow, I didn't expect. You guys could have paid all this time, but you guys choose this day to pay. You guys have like some other work to do, after you guys do some work or whatever. Or maybe you can't do the work, all the work that they're trying to pay now for, or whatever, because you have something personal to do. You have an appointment to go to. You have family to hang out with or whatever. You have friends to hang out with or whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you prioritize that type of stuff. But appointments usually are a priority because, it's something important a lot of times. So, but, like I said, these apps like to pick and choose whenever they want to pay or whatever. And, it gets very annoying. But like I said, I think today might be an okay day. You guys actually might see me make some money. Because you guys actually haven't seen me, make any money in a while or whatever. And now I can kind of report some good stuff, I think, But this was over like, when did I accept that Uber, my Uber trip? I think it was around, what time was it? It was around, where's the time at? 7:52. Okay, so almost 8 o'clock when I think I accepted it around that time. I don't know if that time is like when I accepted it or when I finished. I think I finished at that time. I think so. Yeah, because I had to. This is trash right here. This is trash. I don't know why they keep on offering me like $5 shits. Like, no, get off my screen, buddy. But I think I finished at around that time because I had to be to the Amazon in my area by 8, because I got there like 8:15. So yeah, I think I finished it around that time. So yeah, I accepted that. This is oh hell no, what the fuck, no. Like, when you add that number up of $11 for like almost 7 miles, and then you have to also shop for the stuff like that, all the times right there, no, that's a no-no. That's a big no-no. That's over 40 minutes for $11. no, I'm not. I know it's definitely 40 minutes for $11. I've done plenty of trips like that to know that it's going to be way over 30 minutes to do all the shopping and the checking out, and then, you know, head into the passenger, or not the passenger, but the customer or whatever. And then that's if they have everything in the store, and then that's only if the customer wants to, you know, respond back to you, whether it's in, you know, text messages or they want to pick up the phone or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, this back and forth, like I said, some orders are really easy and you can do it in a reasonable amount of time, but some orders, a lot of times, is not that reasonable, you know, so you have to account that your orders are never, what I like to think about a job is never a job if it's too easy. If it's too easy, it's not a job. Like, if the shit is way too easy, it's not a job. So if shit is too easy, just have your head on a swivel, because they're about to hit you with, life is about to hit you with some shit. Like, if you're having a little too easy, just, even in life, like, if life is a little too easy, be a little suspect of why it's a little too easy. You're like, nah, I don't think that it's supposed to be going, like, it's supposed to be this easy. Like, you ever play a game and it's just a little too easy in the beginning? You're like, oh shit, I could do this all day. But then they hit you with, like, on the next chapter or the next level, they're like, oh yeah, no, that was just like a interlude, or what you call it, like a prologue. That was just a walkthrough. We're just teaching you the grounds and stuff like that. So that's how I like to look at it. It's like, yeah, no, this is not the real thing. Yeah, prepare, buddy. Okay, just come on, get over, buddy. Get over. Come on, let's go, because you're not gonna. 12 for I don't know. I don't really like Target like that, for real. So I'll do it for something else. Target's cool sometimes, but I don't really do the Target orders a lot of times. I don't know. Sometimes they got long lines and stuff like that, especially at these times. I don't really too much like it, but Target orders can be kind of clutch sometimes. Like, they come in handy, but not all the time. You gotta, like, the number was cool, the miles was cool, but I don't know. Usually, if it's a grocery item, you already know something is not there every time. And then that Target out here in Midtown, especially if it's grocery, you're gonna have a problem with not having something every time. They don't ever have something in that grocery area. I don't know. I guess hella people shop at that Target out here in Atlanta, Midtown. And then they, for some odd reason, never have certain things in stock ever in the grocery area ever. So I'm like, you know what? That's why I kind of back away from doing Target orders, because it's annoying every time. And then the customers want to order the things that they steady don't have in stock. So you're, oh no. You gotta watch, honestly, y'all gotta watch out for these Tesla drivers, because I don't know what it is with them, bro, because they want to drive like they either don't think that anybody else is on the road, or they just can't see anybody. With all the cameras and the sensors and the shit in the car, bro, they still cannot drive. I don't understand. You know, and I read an article that Elon was saying that he's gonna start making the Teslas automated, like how the Waymos are and all the other type of what you call it, like automated cars and stuff like that. Like, you know, the AI is driving the thing. Elon is trying to make a thing where he only makes the cars AI driven, so it's not even gonna be like the add-on the add-on package that you have to pay, like, what is it, like 10 or 15,000 for, or something like that, the add-on to have the car self-drive itself. He said that, like I said, I read this article, I don't know how long ago, but it was a while ago, where he said that he was gonna start making the cars to be like standard self-drivable, like there is no human interaction. So I'm like, you know what, that might actually be a good thing, because humans still can't drive a robot. Like, the robot is supposed to be, I don't understand, like, the car is supposed to be, you know, a robot, and and they have humans driving the robot, but they can't drive the robot. So I'm like, you know what? Just let the robot do it. Let me drive the boat. You know, let the robot drive. Like, if the robot is Jesus, let Jesus take the wheel, bro. Please, because I don't know, bro. Because for some odd reason these people can't drive, and it just doesn't make any sense. You're in a whole car that has so many freaking sensors in it, and you still can't drive. I don't understand. And whenever you get into an accident, I've seen so many Teslas that just, man, when I tell you, like, they are all mangled up whenever they get into accidents. And then, I don't know, sometimes I think that these Tesla drivers love to get into accidents because their car is going to be automatically totaled because it's a unibody car. And, you know, and unibody means where the car is literally one piece. So if you crash it, it's done pretty much. Wow. It's always these homeless people, bro. Every time. I don't know why they just don't really care. They think that they can just cross the road and walk wherever they want to, whenever they want. It's something up with the homeless people out in Atlanta. I don't know. Like, they just, I don't know. They are entitled as a pedestrian. For some odd reason, they got this entitlement as a pedestrian. Like, they won't get hit. You know, not that somebody's actually trying to hit them, but they're acting like they're invincible. Like, they can't get hit, you know? So, I don't know. But, yeah. Like I said, the Teslas, I think, should be driven by the AI, just like the Waymos. Because the amount of times I've seen wrecked Teslas just all mangled up, you know, I've yet to see a Waymo that looks like that. I haven't seen a Waymo that's gotten into a really, really bad accident by making a bad decision. I haven't seen that yet. Not saying that they don't make bad decisions, but, you know, I've seen more Teslas in bad situations than I have in Waymos. Not like I said, I haven't even seen a Waymo in a bad accident at all before. So, and from what I've seen in the people in the Teslas, I'm thinking that the people that are getting into accidents with the Waymos, it's the human fault. It's not even the Waymo's fault. I'm thinking that it has to be an error on the human, not even the AI, the robots that's driving the Waymos. It's the humans that get into accidents. Because like I said, Tesla drivers are wrecking cars that shouldn't be in accidents at all, because they're supposed to have so much safety and technology in it to prevent the stuff. But it's like, yeah, I don't know, it's just common theme with them, bro. It's so sad. I'm like, man, some people honestly maybe should not be driving at all, you know. I don't know. Like I said, some people just should not be driving at all, and that's just my personal opinion. But I don't know, they just be handing out driver's licenses like Chuck E. Cheese tokens. You know, like, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. And it's like, no, like, even though they pass their driver's test, their minimum state requirements to get a license, bro, sometimes I think that some people need to go again for a professional license. Like, they need a standard professional license in order to be on the road. Not to be professionals, but professional licensing, so that they know that they can drive with standard driving drivers. You know, like, just to be on the road, they need to have a professional license. They need to have professional permits and stuff just to be on the road. You know, but that, like I said, that's just my opinion, honestly. So, but you know, my screen is not doing justice right now because, for some odd reason, they were paying really good, but I don't know what's going on now. They're not paying at all, and you know, as you can see on my screen, there's not really much going on, which is going against what I was saying what was going to happen today, which I thought I was going to make some money. But you know what? I'm not going to give up, because I think that there was money today. They were showing me money, so I'm going to see about the money. I probably am in just like the wrong area maybe, so I'm going to go back up to the Midtown area that I was in, maybe near like the the King and Spalding building or whatever, you're gonna really cross the road like that? Okay. Yes, I know. As a pedestrian, you're very entitled. I know. I'll stop for you, buddy. Even though you didn't have the walkway, but you know what? As a pedestrian, I understand. You always have the right of way. You can never do no wrong. Nope, I'm not going to that restaurant ever again, bro. Hell no. That restaurant is for sure blacklisted. I'm never going there ever again. Like the long wait times. And I think that they need to have a safety inspection there. Because let's just say that some things don't look to be of food safety requirements and standards at that restaurant there. I think that they need to have a little inspection up there. But that, again, that's just my personal opinion of what I've seen. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hold on, waiting so I do not get hit, buddy. Some of these Atlanta drivers just are impatient, and this is how accidents happen. And, I'm not trying to deal with insurance, honestly, bro, because there's a 50-50 chance that something's not ever gonna go right. So the insurance is for sure probably gonna make your life a little bit harder if you try to go through with them to file your claim. Sometimes, but not all the time. But insurance can be kind of annoying, bro, to go through because it's a process and they have to, But like I said, I'm trying to avoid being into accidents and stuff, so I don't have to deal with insurance or whatever. You can just avoid it all in total. But yeah, I'm kind of almost just rambling right now because I'm trying to see where the money was. It was where I was here, but it's not. I don't understand. It's not here no more. In a less than an hour span, they was giving me decent orders within the last hour and a half or whatever. Like I said, I just finished that one order at 7:52 or whatever. I picked it up at around, I think it was like 7:40-ish or something like that, because it took around 10 minutes to get to the customer or whatever. Somewhere around that time. Somewhere around that time or whatever. So I'm trying to understand how the money just disappeared like that. I'm like, no, there's no way. There's no way. But I don't know. We're gonna make some money or whatever. We're gonna make some money. We're gonna try to make as much as we can tonight or whatever. Try to at least do our best, because it's kind of getting annoying that I there's no money out ever, and that my money is being affected because there is no money out here. So we're gonna see where the money is or whatever. We might have to transfer to a different area or whatever, a different city. So if we have to do that, we have to do that. But I've been doing that too at the same time. And other cities, as I stated in my video, it doesn't matter if you're in Atlanta, if you're in Marietta, if you're in South Marietta, if you're in Buckhead, especially Buckhead. Oh, man, when I tell you, oh man, when I tell you the orders in Buckhead are even worse than the orders out in the city all the time. Like, I mean, the city is in like Midtown or whatever, because Buckhead is still the city, but the Midtown, when I tell you Buckhead is nothing but $3, $5, $4, and they want high ass miles to go, like, for that area or whatever. It's crazy. I'm like, man, some of y'all should maybe be playing with them pots and pans. I don't know, because this is getting out of hand. No, this area is a little too prominent for you guys to be only paying $4. But like I said, sometimes it's not always a customer. not tipping or not, paying the fees or whatever in order to get their food delivered. Sometimes it's the apps that's stealing the money, that's finagling the numbers and putting money here and not giving the driver the money or whatever. So sometimes it's not always the customer, but sometimes it really is the customer not tipping and feeling like they're entitled to getting the order delivered. Like, yes, I think I explained this before. Like, yes, you did pay the delivery fee, but that does not entitle you to your order being delivered if it hasn't met a certain threshold for the driver to pick it up. So maybe if you get your order, if you pay like the delivery fee or whatever, and then maybe a robot can maybe deliver your order, because the robot doesn't have to pay gas, the robot doesn't have to eat at all, the robot, doesn't have to sleep at all, the robot doesn't have no bills, right? Versus a human being that actually has bills or whatever. So, and sometimes I think that the customer doesn't know that this is trash. Sometimes the customer doesn't know that that's how much we get, but that's what these videos are for. That's what I'm trying to bring, is awareness. And I spoke about this in my way earlier videos that I made like 2 or 3 years ago or whatever, that these videos are for awareness. It's not really to complain or whatever. This video is for awareness. So it's awareness for drivers to show what each other's numbers are. And then there's also awareness for the customers to know, like, this is all we're getting paid, so, and unfortunately there is not really a lot of ways to get paid more, because the way that the money works is that if you want Uber and DoorDash to pay us more, guess what they're gonna do to you guys as the customers? They're gonna gouge you guys even more and still not pay us. So a lot of times the tips that you guys do give us actually go a long way, because we actually get those. Back in 2023, we wasn't getting those tips at all, really. There was only like, if you was tipping at like $10 or whatever, they was only giving us $1 or $2 or whatever. But they kind of stopped that now or whatever for the time being. But they will possibly do it again, because they're corporate, they need to meet numbers or whatever, and they'll take it from whoever they need to take it from. But like I said before, if you do want your orders delivered, you do have to meet a certain threshold for a human driver to deliver it to you. But if you get like a robot or whatever, delivered to you, like in Midtown or whatever, like they have these the little like robot carrier things or whatever that will deliver your order to you. I don't know how far they go, but if you live in Midtown or whatever, then you have access to having a robot delivering your order, and you don't have to tip the robot because it's a robot or whatever. If you want to tip it, I guess it goes to the restaurant maybe, but it's a robot. The robot doesn't have, like I said, doesn't have no bills, so it doesn't matter at all. You don't have to tip the robot. The robot only knows pick up order, deliver order. That's it. But the human driver has bills, right? So the human driver is going to communicate with you, let you know this and let you know that, if they're very friendly and customer service oriented. And I know that that's how, you can get a better tip, is to have better customer service, and, very, friendly demeanor and stuff like that. And that's definitely on the human drivers end to do. But honestly, that sometimes doesn't entitle you to having more of a tip either. This is trash. But it does go, to show that you actually care about your job, and treating your customers with the most care and respect. It will pay off in the end a lot of times, because I've actually had customers that will tip more, literally based on me treating them well, being friendly with them, having the customer service of keeping them updated with their order, especially if it's, still being prepared, or if it's still late. Or sometimes I have to communicate with my customer and tell them like their order's been stolen, sad stuff like that. I sometimes, the customer is understanding, and I'll let them know that I let Uber or, DoorDash know that, their order has been stolen or whatever. Somebody else has picked it up and I can't pick it up or whatever, and some of the customers are understanding. Some of the customers think that, I'm the one who took their order, because they don't get calls from the drivers that do take the order, and I'm like, no, I don't steal your orders. I care about the money more than I care about your food, but I care about the money, and I don't get any money if I don't deliver your food, so I'm not gonna take your order, so unfortunately, your order was stolen, and I can't deliver your order. So what I'm gonna do for you is, call DoorDash or Uber or whatever, and then so you could be reimbursed like that. And that's what I'll let them know. For my customers that unfortunately got the short end of the stick of having their orders stolen or whatever. And I don't understand how it happens, but it does. And there's some really low down and just sad drivers, that are unfortunately just straight bums. They don't understand the meaning of working for what you want. You can literally work, get the money from the orders that you delivered, and then you can get your own food. You don't have to steal these people's food that they paid money for. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of these orders are like $50 and stuff like that, plus a tip on top, if they did tip. But some of the orders are like straight $50 or whatever. I'm not doing that. I don't touch $6. It's cool. $6. I don't know. I don't touch orders at a certain level, a certain number. That's not what I touch at all. But yeah, like I said, I don't understand what it is with some of the drivers that like to steal orders or whatever. They really don't care about their lives or their money, because when they get caught, they're gonna get deactivated and they can't get no more money. So why can't you just do the job right, get your money, and then get your own food, with the money that you worked for? But unfortunately, there's bummy people that don't think like that and will take from other people. And karma does exist, and it comes back in different ways. But yeah, like I said, those are just my opinions on certain topics. Like I said, where some people should not really be driving for real, and that the drivers that are stealing the food, I don't know what systems need to be made in place to kind of target the people that are stealing the orders, so it stops affecting people like me that actually want to get the money and deliver the orders or whatever to make everybody's lives easier. But I think that there needs to be some type of system where I don't know, it needs to be some type of system where you literally can't pick up the order without some type of extra confirmation. Like, I don't know, but there has to be some type of, hell no, 2 Wingstop orders for $7. That's all that they could put together, bro? No. But yeah, there needs to be some type of extra systems being put into place for people that not just people that like to steal orders, because that would be kind of like a discrimination. The only way to kind of pinpoint who is stealing the orders is by not doing the confirmation, the extra confirmation or whatever. So you have to have some type of maybe 2-step verification in order to pick up these orders. Because like I said, there's a lot of times, especially when they're paying really, really good, when they used to pay really, really good on, whichever days that they want to pay, some of the orders would be paying like $30 for like 6 miles or $30 for 2 miles or whatever. And you're like, wait, this is paying a little too good. And then you come up to like the store or whatever trying to pick up that order, and they're like, oh, this order's already been picked up hours ago. You're like the 6th driver to come try to pick it up. And it happens way too often. So like I said, I think that there needs to be some type of extra 2-step verification or something like that to kind of pick up the order. And then the people that obviously aren't doing the verifications there, that's just trash, big trash. The people that aren't doing the 2-step verifications, they can obviously be weeded out a little bit more, to know that, yeah, you probably for sure stole the order or whatever. I really don't know what happens to those people or whatever, and if they're still getting away with it, but I said, I think that they definitely deactivate them. But yeah, like I said, that's just my opinion to kind of cut down on that. Because like I said, I hate when my money gets played with. So I'm not for taking from other people in order for me to get ahead. I'd rather get mine the honest way, you know, and help people, you know, the honest way, and, you know, make everybody's lives easier. King K subs, $8 for 2 miles. I think I could do that. I think I could do that. The orders weren't paying this trashy before. So,
drive north.
Right now they're paying a little bit trashy. Let me see. Hold on. Let me go to hither. I gotta start tracking my miles. And hither. Cool. Oh, nope. Oh my god, bruh. Every time with that Google Gemini shit. But yeah, I'm gonna do this order, and I guess I'll get back to you guys with whatever else that I have. Alright, the time right now is 11:17 p.m. and it's Thursday, February 12th, 2026. Right now I'm currently doing an Amazon block. I wanted to just come back to you guys with I guess whatever I've made so far. Because unfortunately Uber and DoorDash slowed down. Like I said, I don't know what happened to the money. I don't understand how there was such a short window of money that was being thrown at me before I had that one Amazon block at what was it, at 8 p.m. or something like that. I forgot what time it was. It's 8, I think so. Let me see. No, I'm doing this one right here. Yeah, this is my 11 o'clock what's it called, Amazon block, whatever. It's delivering, but I don't think I'm gonna get it, because I don't think I'm gonna get an order or whatever, because they're taking a while, and they only give you like 15 minutes to wait or whatever, I think, for these blocks, and then after that you're free to go. And they pay you, and I think that they pay you instantly with these orders. I think so. From when hold on, I'm earnings. That's what I was trying to go to. Was my freaking earnings. Yeah. So I did that block at 8:40. I don't get paid from this until tomorrow. And then this one. Damn, I didn't even remember that I did that at all. So yeah, the 7:30 to 8 p.m. block. Damn, I don't even remember I did that. Damn. Yeah, I forgot I did that. Okay. Yeah, I don't get paid for that until tomorrow also. And I did this 10:40 to 11 p.m. block. I did that yesterday. I'm getting paid later on tonight around, because they paid 27 hours after, so that'd be like 12, 1, 2. Yeah, so they'll pay me around like 2:10 or like 2:15 a.m. on the 13th. So y'all get paid for that or whatever, but so far that's what these are before the tips or whatever. You get tips on these. Sometimes it's not even much tips, but the distances for these trips aren't that bad at all. Let me see. Hold on. I need to see my DoorDash account. Hold on. Wait a minute. Schedule. Continue. Yeah, I don't think that they're gonna give me anything at all. They're still trying to assign a route or whatever. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna pay me, I think, instantly for that. But let me see. So earnings. So let's see, go here. No, not the Crimson card. Okay, never mind. hold on, view payout details. Okay. And then a recent payout. Okay, cool. So yeah, we did the $8 or whatever. That was for the that King K's. And then I also did a Walgreens trip on here on Uber. It was a photo. Where is it at? Oh yeah, here you go. They changed the layout, so sometimes I have to remember where to go to see everything. Yeah, so what is this? Okay, this is a genuine ramen. Okay, cool. So yeah, I want to thank them for that, and then thank them for this tip here. I didn't even know they tipped at all. That's interesting. I didn't even know they tipped, so I'm gonna thank them for that. Yeah, but I just finished doing this order. It was really, really easy. $12 for a mile here. Super, super easy. I just picked up some photos, I guess, or something. I don't know. There's something in the back, but yeah, I got to do that. And yeah, I did this. I think I actually I got tipped a little bit more. Yeah, because it was originally $12.33, but I actually got 13, so they tipped me $1 and some change extra. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy with it. I don't have no complaints or whatever. I'm happy that I get tips from customers that appreciate me. Uh, yeah, so far that's what I have made on there. It's like I said, it's super slow. It's super slow. Um, Still waiting on this to close out. I think that it's it's probably gonna pay out at in a few. Or it's gonna close the thing and say that it's no trips available or whatever. And that's what they do when like I said, when there's nothing available on Amazon. They do that also on like other trips or whatever. So whenever so when you're delivering packages or whatever, you have to wait 30 minutes for them not to give you a trip, and then after those 30 minutes, then it'll show like there's no trips available or whatever, and then you get paid trash. Then you get paid for the packages. You get paid instantly after so the block has to end or whatever. So a certain block, so if it's a 3-hour block, so from the time that trash, from the time that you waited that 30 minutes or whatever, you didn't do no work or whatever, but once the 3 hours, including that 30 minutes or whatever, so within, like I said, that whole 3 hours or whatever of a block that you accepted, you'll get paid at the end of the 3 hours that you accepted for that block or whatever. But like I said, you didn't have to do any work at all, so you essentially got free money for waiting for 30 minutes, literally. Sometimes Amazon is just that simple or whatever, but they do pay out, so that's always a good thing or whatever. This is trash. They don't make it like how Uber Eats, especially Uber, because Uber only does like half pay or whatever, or not even half pay. Uber doesn't even do half pay. Uber barely even wants to give you $3 for inconvenience fees. They don't even do $3 anymore for inconvenience, for inconveniences and shit. They don't even do that no more. They used to, and now they don't or whatever. They made a new policy. But DoorDash, at least DoorDash has like some type of courtesy where, if you have like some type of issue or whatever, especially with the fact that you waited and the stores are closed or whatever, they pay you half of whatever offer that you accepted. So that always comes in handy with DoorDash or whatever. But Uber is straight up cheap, bro. Like they will get over on you if they can. And here's where I was saying, so it turns out there's no more routes available for this block. Rest assured, you'll still get paid. You're free to leave when ready, and you just say okay, and then boom, like I said, you'll get paid for I'll get paid for that. So yeah, I think I waited. Yeah, so I got here at around 11:01 or whatever, and I got to check in at 11:05. So you just wait like, what is that, 20 minutes or whatever? Yeah, about 15-20 minutes. But it's 15 minutes from the start time or whatever. So they don't really count, because they allow you to check in 5 minutes early for these blocks or whatever. These 30-minute blocks. Specifically for, you see the ZAT3. There's certain stations that have certain codes or whatever, and where it says like Amazon Now or whatever. These blocks here, you get. God, there's so much trash. That's straight up trash. Yeah, these blocks here, you just have to wait 15 minutes for them to, if they have a route or not or whatever, and then they'll pay out for you. Trash, straight up garbage. Yeah, if they don't have a route for you, like how you guys seen, they'll say that you're free to go, and then you could choose something else. But yeah, you could check in 5 minutes early, for up to 5 minutes early for these blocks specifically. Trash. And let's see, let's turn on Scroober. Let's see what they have for Scroober. Trash. Promotion rides. What is this? Oh, I don't even put people in my car, so yeah. So they can just forget about that, because I don't even put people in my car. Let's see. So we can go back to offers. Then they have these blocks. No, trash. I don't do nothing, especially for Taco Bell. I don't do Taco Bell for $5, bro. I definitely don't touch Taco Bell for that price at all. And then, especially since I know that they're trying to take me to the one on Spring Street, that's one that you do not ever want to go to ever. You're gonna be messed up, like bad, because the wait times, it's crazy. That's where the college students are at all the time or whatever. And the way it's crazy. So yeah, you don't ever want to touch Taco Bell for $5 at all, bro. So these customers, oh hell no, y'all are gonna have to walk to get y'all's order if you guys are paying like this, bro. Hell no, I'm sorry, but you guys are gonna either get a robot to take these orders, or you guys are gonna have to walk to get you guys order, because this is a no. This is a big no. But yeah, these are some of the other things that I could do, but these are all food areas. So like the Duluth, the UGA 4, UGA 2, VGA, those are package deliveries. And then the UGAs here, these are food deliveries or whatever. These don't pay out until like a 24 hours later or 27 hours later. And then the VGAs, those pay same day. As you guys can see, it's the same day. But yeah, these also, pay out same day. So not like how the food delivery, you have to wait standard 24 to 27 hours for those to pay out. Whether or not you get an order or not, versus with the same day delivery or whatever, with the VGAs here. If you don't get an order or whatever, or if you don't get a block like to actually work, this is trash. If you don't get a block for the VGAs, you just have to wait the 30 minutes, like I said, and then after the 30 minutes, you'll be free to go, like how you guys seen. And then after you wait, and then you'll get paid after the 3 hours. So you'll so after the 6:45 a.m. or whatever time, you'll get paid. Wait, hold on. This is pretty simple. Yeah, we can maybe do this. This is pretty simple. I'll do it, because this shit is annoying me right now. Yeah, so I guess we'll just Get an extra $7 here or whatever. And Uber, of course, it doesn't have nothing besides straight trash. I don't know who does these trips, bro. Who is taking these people for $4? Who's taking these people for these prices? I hope that you guys are getting tipped on this, because I just don't understand who's taking these people for those prices. There's no way. There's no way. I learned my lesson a long time ago, that you are taking a very big chance by serving people for that price. A very, very big chance, because some of the worst customers that you will come around are literally paying that type of price. And this goes for any type of business model, where the customers usually that will pay the least are stereotypically going to be your worst customers every single time. But that's just how, that goes. Usually, not all the time, but usually. But yeah, that's kind of all I want to share for now, is how much I made, I guess, kind of so far today. Unfortunately, I didn't even make anywhere close to what I wanted to make. Anyway, I thought I was gonna make some more, but it looks like it's not gonna happen like that, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm still keep on trying or whatever, and hopefully I can make somewhere close to what I wanted to make, and just close out the day like that. All right, so the time right now is 3:19 a.m. and it's Friday, February 13th, 2026. This is the continuance from February 12th, last night. But I was just getting back to you guys because let me see, there's other ones. Yeah, the other ones got paid out. So I'm doing this other block right now for $54. This is at UGA 2. This is a food delivery or whatever. It's only 2 hours. But it's a really good paying block right now for the time. So that's what I'm doing. I just got done with doing, let me see, where is it at? Yeah, this one right here at 1:45 a.m. to 2:15 a.m. for 15. Through 2:15. For $15, and then this one here at 2:45 till 3:15 a.m. and it's $15 again. That just got paid out. There was no block for that, so like I said, all you have to do is wait 15 minutes. And if there's no block, then you get paid out pretty much once the time frame finishes or whatever. So the block was from 2:45 till 3:15. So after 3:15 a.m., it pays out or whatever instantly. But if I did have an order that I had to deliver, it would have paid me tomorrow morning. So it would have paid me on February 14th, because these are tip blocks or whatever. So so like how it says, blocks without tips are paid shortly after block completion or whatever. So like I said, it pays instantly or whatever. But if it did have a tip, then I would have had to wait till the 14th instead to get paid for this block. But that's what, and I got paid for this block on Wednesday, February 11th. I got, like I said, sometimes with these like little blocks, they don't tip very much on these at all. So I mean, it's decent because, like I said, they're not ever very far, but they don't ever tip very much on these at all. I haven't gotten a block where I've gotten tipped very much, but like I said, they're not very far, and they're really, really easy. It's only for one customer every time, so It's actually way more fair than doing Uber and DoorDash. A lot of times you get paid very, very, very fairly versus what the rates are on Uber and DoorDash or whatever. Like Amazon, obviously it's Amazon. Amazon's gonna do that, obviously. But like I said, so that's what I did there. Like I said, and then I have this block that I gotta wait till 3:30 to check in to, which it's 3:23 a.m. right now, so I gotta wait till 3:30. I could check in to this block 15 minutes before, and I have this block here at 3:40 p.m. Later on today. I don't know if they might actually give me anything for that because this is a new station and they haven't had any orders in the system at all that I've seen. So, I mean, that might be an easy free $20 right there. And then I have this last block here at 6:30 till 9:30 or whatever, and it's paying 70. And it says 3 hours, but the blocks are never 3 hours. It's usually around 2.5 hours or whatever. Sometimes it will stretch till 3 hours. It just depends. But usually those are variables like traffic, or if you have apartments or whatever, and then the different times that it takes to deliver it to the apartments. Especially if you're in Atlanta or whatever, and you have to go to like apartments that are like mazes, and you have to walk far distances and stuff, and to deliver to the customer's door, all that takes time or whatever. So it just all depends, honestly. But so far what I can say is I think I've made what I wanted to make for the day. I made not on Uber and DoorDash at all. They've just been, I guess, extra money. I think I said this on my other videos, but Amazon is my prime money-making app that I use or whatever. So, I make most of my money off of here, and it's the most stable of the three that I mainly use. Other than that, nothing else is stable at all, really, especially Uber and DoorDash nowadays. I don't know what's going on with them, but they got issues right now. They got big issues. These are just the other blocks that I could accept, but I don't know. I don't like a lot of these rates right here. A lot of them are free money for real, but I don't be out in Midtown like that enough for me to go out there for $11 or whatever. Like I said, it could be free money, but it could not be. Sometimes they do be offering trips here at the Midtown location. So but I probably wouldn't do that for this price at all. So, and the price goes up after a while, so you have to treat it, because the way that they price it is like they're doing bids. So you have to pretty much wait till they bid more and see whoever they can sell the bid to. So as long as you wait or whatever, the bids will get higher. They always get higher every time. So you just have to wait to see what the new bid is, and then snag whatever offer that you want. It's on Saturday, 5 p.m. to 7 for 2.5 hours for $55. That's decent, I guess. I mean, that's 4. Some of these are okay. I don't know. It's okay. I'll wait the day of, because some of the rates, I think I said this on my other video too, is that you want to wait the day of, because the day before, obviously it's Friday now, but the day before they'll lowball the hell out these offers or whatever, and they'll see if they can get a sucker. But like I said, what you want to do is you want to wait until usually like the day of or a few hours before. Like if you want the highest rate or the highest bid or whatever, wait a few hours before the block actually starts, and then you'll be golden. You'll have like the best rates. But these rates right here are straight trash. Like for Amazon, 2.5 hours for $37. This is straight garbage. That's what we do. We decline. Throw that at the bottom of the dumpster. Decline. Right? These are straight trash because they could do a lot better. Like I said, if they want to pay you, they will pay you. Especially at Amazon, they will pay you. These are, I barely ever do base rate. But yeah, that's all I guess I want to share. That's the money that I made for today. And let me see. Hold on. I think. Yeah, view payout. Did I do another order on here or whatever? Yeah. Oh yeah, I did. Actually, I did. I did a double order. It was like 2 orders from the same place. It was like 800 Forest Street. It's like the multi-restaurant or whatever. I had 2 orders. It was like $15 for 5 miles or something like that. So it was pretty decent or whatever. You know, got the money for that. Pretty decent. Yeah. And yeah, here's my ratings or whatever. 4% acceptance rate. Like I said, acceptance rate does not matter at all. They don't deactivate you for acceptance rates. Like I said, you can have 0%, you can have 100%, 50%, 20%, 10%. It doesn't matter. Acceptance rate does not matter. What does matter is the completion rate and the cancellation rate or whatever. They don't have cancellations on here at all, but completion and cancellation counts as like 1 in the completion rate. So you know, as long as you don't cancel, your completion rate will be high or whatever, you know, because you obviously accepted the offer and then you're going to complete it or whatever. So like I said, with DoorDash, completion and cancellation is one thing. So as long as whatever you accept, whatever you choose to accept, and you know, choose to continue that job or whatever and you complete it, you know, that won't affect you. But what will affect you is like how many times you cancel or whatever, for whatever reason or whatever, unless you give a valid, I guess, excuse or whatever. You know, they want excuses like we're this is a W-2 job or something like that. But yeah, the on-time rate, that really kind of doesn't matter at all. What's it called? So a lot of times, what will kind of, the on-time rate really kind of doesn't matter for real. You know, because there's traffic, there's other types of variables like we have to wait or whatever and stuff like that. So that really doesn't matter at all. Just, I guess, keep it above, you know, 80%, 70% maybe or whatever. You know, doesn't matter. You know, customer rating, keep that up, because if you got a whole bunch of bad reviews or whatever, you know, then I think you could get deactivated for that. I think so. Yeah, right. Let me see. I think you can. I thought, yeah, you have to have above. Yeah, you have to, as it says right here, like below 4.2. So if you got a whole bunch of bad ratings from your customers, then yeah, you could get deactivated. So yeah, you gotta stay above a 4.2. It's kind of not that hard to keep a rating like this. You just, like I said, just serve the customers. Like, just, you know, whoever you choose to serve, just, you know, serve your customer. Treat them well. You know, make sure that they're up to date on whatever is going on with their order or whatever and stuff. You know, just have customer service, communication with them. You know, you don't have to be uppity. But, you know, at least communicate with your customer like you care about them and you care about doing the job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would hate to have somebody that's doing a job for me that really does not want to do the job or whatever and treats me as if I'm a burden or, you know, something like that. Like, you know, obviously they just want the money. You know, a lot of people just want the money. But like I said, just just treat the customer like how you'd want to be treated, in a way where it's like, the customers actually want it or whatever, like they're actually important. Just like I said, treat them how you'd want to be treated if you were a customer. So it's just simple stuff like that, man. But yeah, I think, and then for Uber, yeah, like I said, that's all I made was the 25 right here from those 2 orders right here, the Genia and then the Walgreens or whatever. Other than that, all the rest of the day has been no orders, or it's been just slow and just regular $4 orders that you guys have been seeing. And like I said, I don't touch that at all. I really don't. I'm not touching $4 orders. Yeah, they don't pay me enough to do that. But yeah, I'm about to check in for this block right here. And then I'll catch you guys on the next one.